From Ticker News with Aaron Young, this is Ticker Today.
Hello, thanks so much for joining me. Today, a new wave of missile strikes as tensions between Israel and Iran spiral out of control. Civilians ordered to evacuate as both nations now brace for more attacks. A chilling manhunt underway in Minnesota, police searching for the gunman who killed a state lawmaker and left others wounded. Law enforcement say he had a hit list. President Trump stages a massive military parade in Washington in a divided nation with protests and political heat on the rise. India grounds and inspects all Boeing 787s after last week's devastating crash. Regulators now moving fast as pressure mounts on the troubled aircraft maker. And at the G7 this week in Canada, Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese prepares for a high-stakes meeting with Donald Trump. Tariffs, submarines, AUKUS, diplomacy, all on the table. You are watching Ticker Today, the latest news and business moving the world. Let's get started. First today, clashes between Israel and Iran have intensified, prompting both sides to urge civilians to evacuate from target areas amidst rising casualties. The Israeli military has now warned Iranians near military facilities to leave immediately, while rescue teams in Israel search for survivors following strikes that have killed at least 13 people, including children. Tensions remain high as both nations exchange missile attacks, and the threat of broader regional conflict now looms. Germany's Chancellor expressed hope that the G7 summit this week would lead to a resolution to prevent further escalation. President Trump now calling for an end to the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran after discussions with Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Police in Minnesota are searching for 57-year-old Vance Luther Bolter, accused of killing State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband. Bolter allegedly entered Hortman's home while posing as a police officer and later shot State Senator John Hoffman and his wife, both of whom are recovering after surgery. Authorities discovered a list of officials targeted by Bolter, which includes several lawmakers supporting abortion rights. The FBI is offering a reward for information leading to Bolter's capture and has warned that he is armed and dangerous. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz paying tribute.
We're here today because an unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. Our state lost a great leader, and I lost a dearest of friends. Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota. She woke up every day determined to make this state a better place. She is irreplaceable, and we've been missed by so many.
US President Donald Trump held a military parade in Washington, D.C. to celebrate the US Army's 250th anniversary, featuring thousands of troops and military vehicles. The event occurred amidst national protests, with demonstrators opposing Trump's policies and calling for action in light of recent political violence, including the shooting of the Minnesota lawmaker. While the parade faced some disruption due to the weather, it went ahead as planned, marking a significant display of military pride. Critics, including some within his own party, raising concerns about the event's estimated $45 million cost, which Trump defended as necessary for celebrating America's achievements.
Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too. That's what we're doing tonight. And watching this magnificent display, our souls are filled with gratitude for every generation of warriors who have worn the uniform all the way back to the very beginning. So to every veteran across our land and right here in our nation's capital, including 6 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor, we love you, we honor you, and we salute your noble service to our flag and to our country.
India's aviation regulator has mandated inspections of all Boeing 787s operated by local airlines following a tragic crash that resulted in the deaths of 270 people from an Air India flight. The Air India aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff last week from Ahmedabad Airport on June the 12th, prompting additional maintenance checks focusing on engine parameters and flight safety. As families wait in anguish for information on their loved ones, authorities now working on identifying the remains, many of which were severely burned. Government panel now investigating the crash, expected to provide a report within 3 months. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is set to meet with US President Donald Trump Tuesday during the G7 summit in Canada. The leaders will discuss US tariffs on Australian imports and the AUKUS Pact regarding nuclear-powered submarines. Albanese highlighted the importance of their partnership and the benefits of AUKUS for both countries. The meeting follows a request from the US Defence Secretary for increased defence spending among Asia-Pacific allies. President Trump has reportedly earned approximately $57 million from his investment in a family-backed cryptocurrency firm over the past year. His annual financial disclosure recently released shows a total asset value of around $1.7 billion, income sourced from various ventures including golf resorts and merchandising deals. Trump has expanded his involvement in the cryptocurrency industry, launching a stablecoin and a Bitcoin mining company, critics raising concerns over potential conflicts of interest as Trump continues to advocate for a more favourable regulatory environment for cryptocurrencies. British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has announced a national inquiry into grooming gangs that have sexually abused thousands of girls across the UK. The decision follows a report by former official Louise Casey, who highlighted that vulnerable white British girls were often overlooked by authorities due to fears of being accused of racism. The announcement comes after renewed scrutiny of the issue prompted by comments from billionaire Elon Musk, the Conservative leader welcoming the decision but stressing the need for a swift resolution for survivors. A major fire engulfed a 67-storey residential tower in Dubai's Marina district, prompting the evacuation of nearly 4,000 residents. The blaze erupted at the Marina Pinnacle building approximately 9:30 p.m. local time. Emergency crews battled the fire for 6 hours before bringing it under control. Fortunately, all residents were safely evacuated, no reports of any injuries. They're currently receiving support and temporary accommodations. Investigations into the cause of the fire now ongoing. Residents are waiting updates when they can return home. The markets, Dow Jones figures alongside S&P 500 and Nasdaq futures will open amid growing conflict between Israel and Iran, which has seen continued attacks. The stock market experiencing a decline Friday, partly due to Israel targeting Iranian nuclear sites, leading to a significant drop in key indexes. In the world of tech, major AI chip companies like Nvidia and Broadcom are showing strong performance and nearing record highs. Meanwhile, the Fed Reserve's upcoming meeting may provide insight into future economic policy as investors now assess recent market movements.